Welcome back to Comics with Cody. Today it's part 2 of the Captain Marvel Shazam collection. Again, Captain Marvel, Shazam, one of my favorite characters, one of the most fascinating histories in comic books. Just the evolution of the character from the original Captain Marvel in Fawcett Comics, going to DC, but also having this other version of the character in the UK, Marvel Man, that becomes Miracle Man. Captain Marvel Jr., one of Elvis Presley's favorite comic book characters. They actually have a copy of Captain Marvel Jr. at the Tupelo Museum for Elvis, so that's really cool. Today, I'm not sure I have these books in order, but I'm gonna start with the new 52 version of Shazam. Really quickly going through this. What bothered me about this was how much I enjoyed the power of Shazam, reading that before this, and so to have to reboot the character again and it being a little bit different, I did not initially like this, but as I continued to read through it, I grew to like Billy Batson and his group of friends in this. This was pretty good. I like the direction they took Shazam here. It could have been worse. Next up, I have Shazam and the Magic Lands. This book is almost like a fantasy novel, and I really enjoyed this. This is probably my second favorite of the Shazam books here that I've read. The artwork in this is all really solid, modern artwork. This is Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham, Scott Collins. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right, but it's amazing how many older comic books had smaller creative teams. It seems like you'd have one writer, one illustrator, maybe an inker or colorer, and with these newer books, the creative teams can sometimes just be like all the way down the covers. But Shazam and the Magic Lands is one of the strongest Shazam books that I read. I really like this. I love the fantasy elements really taking center stage here, and again, it's almost like a novel more than a graphic novel. It's a little of both, and that's usually where these kind of things really shine. I don't want to compare it to Watchmen, but that's one of those things, where it's more than the stigma that usually is associated with a graphic novel or a comic book, which I hate to even say that, but it exists in the public. This is the Trials of Shazam. Now this, of course, is not Billy Batson. This is Freddie Freeman. Getting his powers. This is pretty interesting. The artwork in this is not my favorite, but it's okay. It's not too bad. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought the story was good. I like Freddie Freeman, but I don't know. I think, I'd have to pick Magic Lands over Trials of Shazam, but this is pretty good, and it is, the complete series, so it's pretty solid. You can read it like that. Now we're getting into some questionable things. I don't know that I like the direction that Shazam's taken recently. It seems like they're taking the character maybe more in a kid-friendly direction, and there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes to me, it maybe feels like they're treating Shazam as less than because there's still that I hate to say stigma again, but stigma of it being a ripoff of Superman. So maybe, I don't know. This isn't exactly what I want. At the same time, this is, I guess similar to the original Captain Marvel and the original Shazam, but this is just not my favorite style for the character. These books were fun, but they're not telling big emotional stories. It's not like Power of Shazam or even Magic Lands, because you really feel for these characters. There's just a little bit more going on in those books. And coming up next is the final book I have here. This is Billy Batson and the Magic of Shazam, Family Affair, which these are among the most recent Shazam books. And again, we're growing down. This looks like a Nickelodeon kids cartoon. And so does the art on the inside. This can be, I like that sort of thing, and I do watch cartoons. I like SpongeBob and whatever. But I don't know. I have different feelings for this character, and I just don't know if I like seeing this character portrayed in this way. I know the movie that came out was more of a comedy, and it was really popular. People really liked it, and maybe that's what's caused this to go in the direction it's going in. It's just not what I want. It's not what I don't know. I see it, I like it better when he's a ripoff of Superman. I think it's cooler to see Billy Batson in a serious light, but maybe we need that comedic superhero character, and one that can appeal to kids. That's never a bad thing, because comic books aren't being read by a lot of kids anymore. And you need more comic book fans in the future to keep the industry alive, and that's really important. So Captain Marvel, Shazam, one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite histories to read about in comic books. What do you think about Billy Batson? What do you think about Shazam? Leave us a comment below, and hit like. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. I thank you for watching Comics with Cody, and we'll see you again next time.